Well, guys, I've covered updates for this terrible situation already, so I'll give you the latest on it, with more information being reported this morning. First, though, I'd like to call out the utter scumbags online for their party political attacks on their opponents, along with anyone using it to further their political agenda against men. In my mind, you are low-life pom scum for dishonouring this woman's memory with your sanctimonious nonsense and party political dribble. I've literally seen it from all sides, north and south, Brexiteers and Remainers, absolutely everyone, let me tell you, it's kind of pathetic. But enough of all that, let's get on with the actual information that we have. I would say it's almost certain at this point that the police have the right man. The information they are giving out and the tone of it suggests as much anyway. I could well be wrong, but I doubt it at this point. The police are actually saying he had never met Sarah as far as they can tell, so literally spotted her and grabbed her off the street, possibly using his warrant card to do so, which will be concerning to many people and rightly so. It seems though he is a trained firearms officer involved in guarding politicians and events attended by senior royals. This could be why many people have said he actually looks familiar, including myself. Though I didn't actually say it, I just thought it to myself when I first see his picture. Given that his job was that, you might well have seen him on TV guarding some building being covered by the news or outside Parliament. Hey, maybe he was used to beat down peaceful protesters last year. We don't actually know. What we do know for sure is he joined the police force in 2017, having been in the Civil Nuclear Constabulary, serving as a firearms officer for them, before he obviously transferred to the Metropolitan Police during a recruitment drive after the terrorist attacks in 2017. So he literally joined a call to help protect people less than 4 years ago and is now being accused of killing an innocent woman walking home after visiting her friend. Obviously, the police are claiming he's passed all kinds of rigorous physical and mental assessments, but given the fact he's likely done this, I would say that assessment failed miserably. But as I said, they also think he used his job as a police officer to possibly gain the trust of Sarah Everard before actually snatching her. Which once again I will say is extremely concerning given the powers the police have been given and the ones they've been overusing recently. It also shows to me that trusting a police officer should never just be a given, especially one on his own. Though to be honest, in my life I've never been stopped in London by a lone police officer ever. In fact, I do not remember a time when I've even seen an officer walking alone in London, and for good reason. One of them is literally not enough to arrest the average suspect should they resist, so to my knowledge, police always patrolled in at least pairs. Shit, it's not uncommon to have 3 or 4 police officers in one Metropolitan Police car when I think about it. This I learned through years of stop and search dealing with the old bill when I was younger. Sarah, though, not being from London originally and not living the life I have, would likely never have known this or even thought about it, to be honest. I can't imagine it is something that would go through the average woman's mind when a police officer with credentials stops them, in all honesty. Especially not during a national lockdown, given, like I said, the police's extra powers to interfere with people's lives that they've been overstepping far too much. And as a matter of fact, I would actually bet money on it right now. If the country was open as normal, London would have been busy, especially in the Clapham and Brixton areas where this abduction took place. I can literally tell you now the opportunity could never have arisen in that location at 9:30 PM on a Wednesday night. It is the South Circular Road, often busy with people still going home from work at that time. Meaning obviously this lockdown will certainly be a contributing factor in relation to him being able to take her off the streets there and then. I personally know the area very well, having lived not too far away many years ago, and I can tell you right now at 9:30 PM there would be 100 people either walking or driving down any part of that road at any given minute at that time. Like I said, we are talking about the A205 Circular Road running through London, connecting Clapham Common, Brixton Hill and Streatham Hill together. No part of that road can be called a back street or side street, it's literally a main route between busy areas of London. So yes, I will say it again, lockdown has to have played its part in this disaster, helping some animal to take her life, and the police have also been saying this. The powers that be failing the people seems to be commonplace these days, and this just reinforces that in my mind. Now, of course, Twitter being the bottomless cesspit that it is, they have decided to use this terrible crime as a way to either virtue signal by making this about men, or possibly even worse still, we have politicians trying to politicise it, the absolute shitweasels. A woman has died at the hands of one scumbag, that is all that matters, not the feminist talking points or party political bullshit. A family is missing a loved one while tosspots use it for their own ends, like Sean Bailey or Jess Phillips. She couldn't just pay her respects to Sarah and give her condolences to the family, no, she has to go on some ideological rant about men because the actions of one obviously means we all do it. Here, take a listen to it for yourself.
think Cressida Dick did a good job. I think that she has to be tempered and speak about the rarity of random attacks on the street, if that is what this was. But the reality is that it's not a rare crime. Since last week, since Sarah first went missing, 6 women and a little girl have been reported as being killed at the hands of men. So it's not particularly rare, and the fear that women live with is it's an everyday thing. So Cressida Dick has to temper it, but the reality is for most women, they have had some form of experience that they feel frightened of, and the message that this should be sending out is not one about what women should or shouldn't do. It is about how serious violence against women and girls is, and how it is an epidemic that we have to put far, far, far more attention and resource into.
Now, social media is rife with shit like this and other people jumping on the bandwagon for a few clips, the attention-seeking scumbags. What they all fail to remember is if real men got hold of the person who did this to Sarah, they would all extract real justice very quickly. In prison, this guy will have to watch his back, not only for being a copper if it is him, but also because he's a woman. Even the most hardened criminals detest men who rape or kill women and children. So instead of shit-talking men to further your ideological agenda, think of the family sitting there dealing with this world-ending disaster for them, instead of your own virtue-signalling bollocks. Think about the fact that her life was taken at such a young age and not yourself. She was almost the same age as me and is no longer here. That and justice for her family is all that matters.
We're off!